Alright, hello. I'm going to talk a little bit about piano voicings today. So, one great thing about the piano is that you've got two hands with which you can kind of do whatever you want. And that gives you a lot of freedom, but it also gives you a lot of options, and a lot of people aren't quite sure what to do, and they'll hear these cool things, and they have no idea what they are on the piano. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, and specifically about extensions on chords and how to apply them through voicings practically. So if you know your basic chord theory, if you look at a C major tonality, C major chord, there's your C major triad, right? And then you've got the major 7, and if you just go up in terms of what's practically seen on that chord, you get the 3rd, the 5th, major 7, major 9, sharp 11, and 13. So that's a C major 13 sharp 11 chord. The reason we put the sharp 11 in is because the natural 11 is a semitone away from the 3rd, so you get this sound, which is kind of crunchy, so we just raise that 11 up on major tonality. Like that. So that's a C major 13. That's a 7-note chord, and you can keep going if you add in, say, sharp 15, 8-note chord, and you can keep going. But practically speaking, you're not always going to read a major 13 sharp 11 chord and just play this or different inversions of it. So I want to talk about kind of distilling that sound down into something more easy to use and, even one-handed. So let's take a look at the C major 13 sharp 11. We've got the root, the 3rd, the 5th, major 7, major 9, sharp 11, 13. So if you want to create a voicing for this, let's say a one-handed, let's say we just want to make a right-hand voicing for this and play octaves in the left hand. Essentially what you got to do is you got to decide which of these notes within this chord are least important. The important notes really are the root. It has to be played somewhere, but not in the right hand voicing, let's say. The 3rd is important, and the 7th is important. Those are the guide tones. The reason those are important is because they make up the tonality of the chord. So in this case, the 3rd tells us that it's not minor, it's major, and the 7th tells us that it's not minor or dominant, it's major. So if I just play C, E, and B, that's a C major 7. You don't need the 5th, and you don't need the root in the right hand. So there you go. With 2 notes, I can play a C major 7 chord. So now, what can we add to these 2 notes to make it that major 7? Well, from here, you just kind of experiment. Let's add the 9 on top. That's nice. That's a C major 9 now. And now we've got, a few more fingers. Let's add in the sharp 11 here. That's pretty nice. So there's a voicing. You can even add in the 13 here. So that's E, F sharp, A, B, D. And of course, root in the left hand. And there you go. And I mean, you can invert this like this, which is much easier to play, and that's a nice sound. So there we go. We just made up a voicing for a C major 13 sharp 11 chord. We've got the major 7, the 9, the 3, the sharp 11, and the 13. We're not including the 5th, and we're not including the root. The 5th doesn't really matter, and the root is in the left hand. So we're good. Now, here's the important thing when it comes to voicings. When you're performing, you're not making these up on the spot, like this. When you're performing, you're referencing these things that you've practiced a million times. So when I see a C major chord of any kind, I can pull this out if I want to, because I know that this is a C major type chord. C major 13 sharp 11 it happens to be. And what you have to do from there is transpose. So from this point, what you want to do is you want to sit down when you're practicing and say, okay, so it starts on the major 7, and then you go 9, 3, sharp 11, 13. So let's try that in D. It starts on the major 7, 9, 3, sharp 11, 13. So there's a D major 13 sharp 11 voicing. And what I recommend is that you do this in every single key when you find a voicing that you like. So using slash chords and polychords, you can figure out voicings. And I think this is the most important thing, is to figure out what different slash chords and polychords represent. For those of you who don't know, a slash chord is when you have a single chord in the right hand over a chord in the left hand, or over a bass note. So if I represent a chord like this, where it says E minor 7 over C with a horizontal slash, that means that I play E minor 7 in the right hand, and I play a C note in the left hand, or in the bass. And that could be represented as a traditional chord symbol as C major 9. But the way for you to think about it as a piano player is E minor 7 in the right hand, C in the left hand as a note, and that means C major 9. So next time you go to play a C major 9 chord, you just go, oh yeah, I don't have to do this, I can do this. And then you can have fun with it. You can say, okay, well, what other E minor variants can I do in the left hand over C? So let's try this one. This is an E minor 9, or E minor 11, I guess. So E minor 11 over C very much works. Now you've got the sharp 11 and the 13. So this is E minor 11 over C, or C major 13 sharp 11. So using slash chords, and then polychords as well, which would be like, for example, D over C major 7, which traditionally would be seen as C major 13 sharp 11, or D major 7 over C major 7, which you could name C major 13 sharp 15 sharp 11. So these are just kind of, ideas that you can use, and I think it's a really important learning tool. I think it's really important to use slash chords and polychords as learning tools. And you can even do a triple polychord, like for example, E major 7 over D major 7 over C major 7. So I'm going to share with you a few go-to voicings that I have that I recommend that you learn in every key and get used to, just so that you can pull them out. Because it's like a language. It's like learning a language. You need to learn cool words that you like this one. This is a cool word. And if you like that word, you have to start practicing using it in sentences, figure out what it means, figure out how to apply it to the language that you use and how to speak it, how to say it, and then you just have to practice saying it until it becomes so natural that when you want to talk about that subject, you just say it, and it makes sense, and it's seamless. So that's what practicing voicings is. So here are a few go-tos that I like. And you should figure out your own as well, but here are ones that I really like and that I think everyone should know a little bit about. One really great one, if you just want to add the ninth to a chord, let's say you're playing C major 7, if you just want to play the 9, play the minor 7 based on the third, and play the root in the left hand. So let's say C, I'm going to play C in the left hand, and play E minor 7 in the right hand, because it's the minor 7 chord based on the third. And that's a C major 9 voicing. And it's really easy, it's one-handed, and you just play the root. Here's another one, is if you want to play a minor 9, you play a major 7 chord based on the third, like this, on the minor third. So that's C minor 9. That's a good one. I think you should transpose these in all keys. It's really good to know. One that I really like as well for dominance is this voicing, this 13th voicing. So that's C dominant 13, C13. And this one's really cool because it's essentially just a C9, but then you just move the 5th up to the 13. And it creates that really nice rub. And you've got the 3, 13, flat 7, 9. One really cool thing about this voicing too is if you want, you can throw in the sharp 11 like this to fill it up a bit more. But I really like it as like this open, you've got this 4th on the bottom and you can really hear that. And then you can make it a sharp 9 just by moving the pinky up. You can put a bit more tension in it. Or you can make it a flat 9. Really, really great chord, really great voicing, and I recommend putting that in every key. I use that one a lot. So yeah, those are some cool kind of go-to voicings, and I recommend that you kind of experiment with these on your own and figure out, you know, kind of your go-tos. Like, if I see a major 9 chord, you know, what should I know to do? Alright, great. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry about the camera switch, my camera cut out there. But thanks so much for watching. I really hope that this could help you. If you have any questions, leave them below, and hopefully I can make another video or just a simple response that will help you understand. So thanks for watching. See you later. Enjoy this chart that I made. That should help you a little bit getting started with some useful voicings. So yeah, see you later.
Doesn't go both ways. Oh, and what's a girl to do when her man can't hold on? Can't let go.